Hello, everyone. Hello. Um, how is everyone doing? I hope you're all doing amazing. Welcome to the umpteenth late night book club live show
I think it's
discussion.
the 27th.
27th. Oh my
Yeah,
gosh, that number follows me everywhere. Damn.
same.
Oh, damn. Um, but welcome to our discussion of A Certain Hunger by Chelsea G. Summers. We do have a few announcements before going into today's live show. So I'll be going over those, whilst all of you will be telling us kind of what have you been reading lately? What is your what did you first read in 2023? What are you currently reading? And something that you're looking forward to reading later on this year. Um, okay, so the big announcement, which will probably be like the most important announcement of this live show, is that this is actually the last live show for a while. Um, it's been like throughout like our break in November, December, Noelle let us know that she is going to be leaving the book club, unfortunately, because for various reasons. And obviously, Alice and I respect those. And Alice and I, in our own conversation, were kind of like, we have a lot going on in the beginning of this year and for quite some time in the future. And we need to kind of cut off things to make time to do the things that we need to do. And whilst we love like doing the book club, discussing things with all of you and having that kind of connection, it is a lot of work and we do need to like prioritize other areas. And so we came to the decision that we'd probably be best to put the book club on a hiatus for a while until we're like ready to do it again, if we're ready to do it
Taking
again.
a step back for now.
Yeah.
So,
but we have built like an amazing community on Discord. Everyone has just been amazing chatting and stuff. And so I'm sure like throughout the months that we're not running a book club, people will be able to kind of come together, host their own Betty Reads, be able to do just lots of amazing things. And don't worry, we'll still be like hopping in and out as and
yeah,
when.
we'll still be active, like on Discord and everything like that. So,
yes. Did any of you two want to say anything else in regards to that?
I loved doing the book club and I thought it was so fun. And I love like when we started it, like, cause it was like in the thick of lockdown and it was like our way of like building community and not feeling so lonely. And then we've just like, as the world has slowly reopened and then closed again, then reopened, like this was the constant that I could always rely on for like fun, funny conversation. And it was always so fun to like see how the three of us all felt about a book, because I felt like whenever we picked the books, we were always like, I think we know who's gonna like and who's gonna hate, and then we were always so surprised most of the time. So it was just so fun. And I don't know, 27 live shows. I thought it would be like a year, like I just thought when we like started it, we didn't know how long it was gonna go on, and then 1 year turned into 2, and it was just so fun. So
yes,
I loved it, and I loved our Discord server. It was amazing.
Yeah, most definitely. It like surpassed all of my expectations. Just like reading the books, meeting up with you guys, and chatting with all of the night watchers and everybody. It's been a good time, but this is not the end of it yet. So it's just taking a hiatus for Joel and I.
Yes. We just need a bit of time to get stuff like go okay on our end.
Prioritize a little some things in our lives for a bit. So
yes. Oh, someone just said this is their first one. Sorry to start it off this way. Oh god. But there's a bunch of other live shows. Like people on the Discord were talking about like if they missed like a book club month, they would usually read the book and then go watch our live show and see like our discussion then. So you definitely have like 2 and a bit years worth of like books and live shows to go to. So don't worry, like there's definitely like something here for you. But it's just been amazing just to discuss like these books with both of you every month and just like see our reactions and stuff and see what everyone else thought, like especially in the Discord where everyone's like comments on the book would keep growing. It's just been amazing. But
it's been a wonderful community.
Yes. But as we now get into A Certain Hunger by Chelsea G. Summers. If everyone wants to put like their star ratings in the chat, we can get into like what we thought, our initial thoughts, our non-spoilery thoughts for this book so far. I'm gonna just say, Elias, you're probably gonna have to go first because that background, you kind of elected yourself to go first with that background.
Okay, so I don't have the physical book with me. I listened to the book on Audible, and let me tell you, I think the reason why I'm rating it so is the way I listened to it.
Okay.
I feel like if I had read it physically, I probably would have hated everything about it. But I listened to this book like on 2.5 to 3x speed, so that shit just went by really quickly. So I liked the book. I really liked what it had to offer. I really liked the premise. I really liked how it was about a food critic and just like, a MILF, right? A man-eater, supporting women's rights and wrongs. And then there were some things I didn't like. I didn't like how, even though she was a psychopath, she was a little boring. She wasn't very interesting. And girl could talk. She went on so much, so many tangents, and I'm so glad that I listened to this on audio because I feel like she was like verbose, like verbatim, like everything about her. To me, like I thought she would be a very interesting character, but I feel like her friendship and her relationship with what's her name? The other character
Emma?
in the book. Yeah, Emma. I thought that was even more. I thought it was she was even more interesting than. But yeah, I thought it was interesting. I really liked the premise. I'm really glad I listened to the book on audiobook.
Mm-hmm.
But I think at the end of the day, I'm gonna give this like a 3-star. Not bad. But it wasn't my absolute favorite. I feel like she made a very slow and boring psychopath, and I wanted more meat. It just didn't fit right for me.
So what you basically
was not there.
So what you're basically saying, for a book called A Certain Hunger, it left you feeling starved.
A little bit. I don't know. I feel like I could have updated it. I thought reading this book, I would get like the vibes of like The Menu. You know that movie that just came out with Anya Taylor-Joy or Anya Toy-Jailer? Oh my gosh.
I was just about to ask if everyone's seen it or not.
Yeah. I need to watch it, but I might watch it tonight.
Oh, definitely. This book reminded me of that movie, but I thought I would be getting more of like the sensual, mysterious, seductive vibes.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like if this book was maybe written as like a thriller and really honed into that like relationship between like the friendship between like a psychopath and her friend, who, I don't know, plot twist is another psychopath or a sociopath. I think that could have been really interesting because, like towards the end we get like, we don't know and stuff like that. So spoilers, I guess. But yeah. So those are my overall thoughts on the book. So
okay, how about you, Noelle?
We feel differently, Elias. Holy smokes!
Did you love it?
I loved her. I thought she was so interesting.
You both have red hair.
Okay. So I saw some people talking about this in the Discord, but. The writing is like very pretentious in your face. Like it's a little too much sometimes. And in the first chapter, I was like, I'm not going to like this book. Like this is trying to be too smart for me. And we've definitely read books for the book club and just like in general, where I don't like when a book is trying to be smarter than me. Mm-hmm. But in my interpretation, the author was just trying to create a character that was smarter than me, which I think did a really good job at like, she made an excellent serial killer because she was like so methodical and like she was writing as a food critic, like so detail oriented and pretentious and annoying. And like, she was so unlikable that I loved her because there was no point where I was like, I hope she gets out of this, or I hope, I hope there's a redemptive moment where she apologizes or feels bad. Like I love that we don't feel for her, like we're not rooting for her. That she's horrible, and like I think that the writing style of the memoir was like made it so that you didn't want to forgive her. Like she's like, I'm horrible, and that's the point. Like that's why you're reading this book. So I also just really liked that she was so aware of her memoir style, right? When she's like, I'm telling you the end of this story in the first chapter because it's my memoir and you're going to read it anyway because you're interested in me. Like, that was so cool how she like played with the style of like, you might think I'm telling this out of order, but it's the order I want to tell it to you in. And then even at the end, she did one other thing where she said like, damn it, she said something that was so good about like, I don't know, just how everyone was interested in her and she was writing this memoir because she wanted to stay relevant. So she couldn't just kill one person. She had to kill multiple because a woman who murders just one person is just an anomaly, but a woman that murders multiple is a legend. Like, she was so cool. Like, she was so interesting to read and so horrible. And I loved the memoir style.
She got caught though.
Yes.
Yeah, that she did get caught. I wish she was actually. You said she was smart, but I wish she was smarter about like she was so methodical and how everything, and then all of a sudden at the end she kind of like let herself go because she got paranoid, which I kind of understand to a degree because with her relationship and her friendship with Emma really struck deep with her. But at the same time, like, girl, she got caught. So
well, even like with the life jacket part, it's like so slippery and messy, and like you like respect her so much for being like a surgeon of murder, and then all of a sudden she's like, damn, bodies are under the lifeboat. Like, you know what I mean? It was like so, but that's what I think was good because like she wasn't training to be a murderer. She was just like, this is what I want to do, and I'm hungry. You know, I don't know. So I don't. Star rating, it's still up in the air because to give it a 5 out of 5 would be to say it's like a new all-time favorite, and I think I have to see if it sticks with me.
But is it already?
It might be, honestly, especially in the memoir style.
Yeah,
I loved it. All right.
Okay. For me, it kind of came full circle because, like, with the memoir style and like kind of like back and forth between present and past, I was like, wow, this kind of reminds me of like an Evelyn Hugo type-esque where it's like back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. But I was like, this is basically like Evelyn Hugo if she decided to eat her husbands instead.
That's a really good comparison.
I really enjoyed it, and I just loved the kind of writing style. I loved like the pretentiousness of it because there were really some lines where I was like, wow, like you really know how to like phrase certain things in order to like deliver it in such a powerful way. And I found myself like kind of not like rooting for her, but just like there were bits where I was just like, oh, like, please, I need to read more pages of you killing and eating men. Please don't get caught now. Please don't get caught now. And it was so much fun. And I found myself at the end being like, wow, like I support all types of feminism, but I especially support I was going to hold the book up, but I've lost where I've placed my book. But I especially support the feminism where she eats men. So so I was just like, yeah, like, why not? It's definitely one of those books where it's kind of out there. It's kind of, I think Chelsea G. Summers like called it like a chick lit cannibalism novel, which I find hilarious. And like in that dramedy kind of style of like this is serious, but also like it's very camp at the same time.
Yeah.
And I just really enjoyed it. In terms of like star rating, I don't know. I'm between like a 4 and a 5.
Wow.
But I think I need to sit with it a bit more before I decide. I think I might have to do a reread because I read this back in December, and so I'm like, I think a reread would definitely solidify it for me. But
yeah.
Now that we've done that, everyone who hasn't read the book yet, we're about to dive into spoilers. So just the moose. We'll see you when you're done with the book and we can discuss.
Au revoir.
Au revoir. What could you justify Dorothy Daniels' actions?
Sure, why not? But at the same time, it was a little like I didn't really fully understand why she went like after some of these male victims and why she killed them. I guess for the gratification of like sexual pleasure and just I don't know, taking parts that are tasting good, I
Mhm.
guess. But I just didn't really understand the full context in the beginning when she would go after these men and kill them for their parts and stuff. At first, I was like, "Ooh, we're going Hannibal Lecter style," you know.
Mhm.
But I mean, I mean, I'm not. I don't want to say like I condone violence, right? But like,
I mean, there are some times where we can.
yeah. So, but I think at the end of the day, you know, what she did and what she didn't do, she got away with. We got this book. And if she didn't get away with it, we probably wouldn't get this memoir.
I don't think. Okay, I can't justify her actions because a lot of them were born out of like petty, like I got laid off from my job and I'm mad about it, right? Like
Mhm.
I can't like. I don't think she's justified as a human, but she is justified as a serial killer. So like
Yeah.
that's I think her like rage and like her interest in killing these men that have scorned her in some way was interesting from like her murderous mindset. But
Mhm.
you know, like even with Marco, right? Marco?
Yes.
With him, it was like you like that was the one that was like who I thought was her true love. Like she kept
Mhm.
like she kind of referenced this like one guy that she wasn't ready to talk about, and I thought it was Marco. And then when we got his story like in the middle, I was like, oh, okay, so maybe that's the big love of her life. But I just felt like that one of like it definitely wasn't justified because like at the end of the day he was just trying to be a good father and a good husband
Yeah.
at some point. But the fact that she was like, okay, I won't play the game, I will sit here and let him decide. He doesn't even know that he's playing this game with me right now, but he is playing it, and
It's
so
like
if
his
he does,
body,
he
his
does.
choice.
It's like,
Yes.
he is a sim in my game.
Yes, exactly. And then when he actually does want her and she's like, I'm confused, like he did play the game, but it might be too late for him. You know, like it was. I thought that part was so funny. So,
Yeah.
can you justify, Joel?
I think I'm the same as you. Like, I can justify the actions as a serial killer, but not as a human being. Because
Yeah.
it's kind of like, I
Guys, what do you mean?
like, I mean, if I'm watching or reading something about a serial killer, there needs to be like a motive and like there needs to be reasoning for the character to kind of go towards that kind of thing. Because if they're just randomly killing people, I'm just going to be like, oh, where's the personal, like, kind of
Yeah.
grudge? And I feel like we got that with this. And so it was like, oh, okay, I can see why you would kill these men and like eat, like take pieces and eat and feeding that hunger. But as a human being, no way. Like, I mean, there are other ways to do that kind of thing, but not unless you're wanting to be a serial killer. So
Yeah.
yeah. Um, in terms of like the book itself, were there any favorite moments that you had? Because for me personally, there was like this one like little bit that I like wrote down as like a quote, and I was like, oh, I really like this. So it's like, I like it when men look at me as if they want to devour me. I find it deeply entertaining. It becomes annoying only when they start talking as if they'd have any interest in anything that comes out of their mouths. I was like, do you know what? You.
Do you know what? That part is so good. I feel like one thing that I really okay. First, one of the moments that I loved was when she is proposed to, and then she's like, I'm fully in love with this man, but I'm bored with the woman that she could be. I was like, whoa, that was just so interesting that like you get her like falling in love and you get her
Mhm.
talking about him and you know that he's like this guy that she didn't want to talk about for a long time, and then she's like, and then I had to look at my present and my future, and I didn't want to be that woman, so like I miss him, but like I'm bored with her already. I was like, that was so
She chose
interesting.
herself, yeah.
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 And then another just kind of like stylistic thing that I loved that she did was talking about cannibalism like as an art, and like how
Mhm.
our language, like we talk about butchering things, or we talk about like eating, like, oh, I could just eat him up, like that, just like that kind of putting in the like the weight of words we use and how we decide to talk about like eating people
Yeah.
or like devouring them, I thought was like a really interesting way of like almost making it like linguistic and scientific
Yeah.
and like why
Mhm.
she was justifying cannibalism. Very interesting.
And I think there's like
Yeah.
an added depth to it as well, especially because she's a food critic. And so it was kind of like,
Yes.
oh, seeing you like describe it in this way was very interesting. But also you saying about how like she chose herself and like to escape it. I was like, wow, Dorothy Daniels, self-care guru.
Yeah, she like mentioned like cannibal, like how it was. I didn't even know this. Like, it's actually I don't even know if this is true or not. It's not illegal, but it's illegal to murder someone, but it's not illegal to eat someone if they're not alive. Which I thought was like, whoa, what the fuck? That's crazy. But there were two things I liked in this book. I really liked the fact that I learned that beef cows could shit up to 15 times a day, which is equivalent to 65 pounds, aka the weight of a 9-year-old child. And I was like, wow, I learned something new every day. And
I really remembered those facts and figures right now.
yeah,
Wow.
okay. It was really funny because I was listening to this on audio, right, and on like 2.5 speed, and I was just listening to it, you know, playing Roblox, whatever. And then all of a sudden, she's like, "Yeah, beef cows. I learned they can shit up to 15 times a day, like 65 pounds of poop, aka the weight of a child." And I was like, I literally rewind that part, and I was like, I'm gonna remember this for the rest of my life. That's the takeaway from this book that I got. You can tell where our priorities are at. You
I-
was like, God, like the pros, amazing empowerment, and I'm just like, poop. The weight
Speaking
of
of
poop.
Atessa, I think it's like My Year of Rest and Relaxation by Atessa Moshfegh. I think that one, or Lapvona. One of them talks about poop a lot, so maybe that could be
Oh my
one you
gosh,
could read.
really?
Ooh.
Okay, you know this. You know what the book categorizes as to me as like what is it? A hot girl book. You know?
Oh, is it because of like Hot Girl
you know-
Summer?
yeah, like one of those like clean aesthetics, like what they talk about, or like on TikTok or whatever. You know, slick back hair, gold hoop earrings, reading this book on a subway or out in public. Okay, that cover, no, but this cover behind me, yes. I
This
feel like
one,
that cover is interesting. It just, yeah, they're like totally two different covers.
I know. I didn't even know that was like an option for this cover. I only knew
That
this one.
that looks more like I don't know, like like an advertising, like
yeah.
for a brand or something or product. And
No,
this
literally.
one is like vintage, aesthetic,
Mhm.
museum-esque art. You know, like art in a way.
Yeah.
Just
like that one
two
gives
different art
cannibalism.
pieces.
Yeah.
It does. It does.
This one just goes bloody fruit, like Fruit
And-
Ninja.
And
Yeah, and
the-
I'm like, wait, was there pineapple in it?
and the
I don't.
what is it? And the audiobook, the cover is different too. It's like
It is.
Oh,
Ooh, I
yes, on a
actually
platter.
know about that because this book was actually an Audible original initially before it was picked up as a
Oh.
print book.
Interesting, because when I was looking for it, I was like, oh, you can only get it on Audible. That's really
Mhm.
random. And then I think it even says Audible original, and I was like, is it because they have the rights to the audiobook? So that's very.
you know what's really
interesting.
funny? I tried getting this book.
It is ugly. I'm gonna get the US edition. I read. I was like, like it is ugly. It just doesn't also translate to what the book is about, and
Yeah.
it happens a lot with a lot of UK covers. Everyone knows my disdain for the Percy Jackson UK covers. They just don't translate to what the book is actually about, and I'm just like,
Actually, some UK covers win though. Okay,
Oh,
you,
they
you
do.
got some UK.
Babel UK.
Yes, yeah,
Yes.
most definitely.
And the Emily Henry books, I feel like, are better
Oh,
as UK's.
like this one.
Yes. Like that to me is so much better than like
The
them
purple
sitting
stain
back
pages.
to back.
Yes. Oh, I also got her new one, Happy Place. I have the cover for
You'll
that
have to
one.
read Emily.
Yep.
Oh wait, what was it? Okay, the second part I really liked was how her friend Emma actually like didn't tell anybody. Like she wrote on a piece of paper a letter to her, which I was like, don't police or like law enforcement read those letters.
I know.
But I was like,
Yeah.
I was like, girl, you just admitted being accomplice to murder. plot hole, but whatever. It was funny because it was really cool how she was like, hey, you told me everything. I got you, bitch. Like, I got you back. I won't say shit. I thought that was like that bond. Their relationship was really interesting to me, and I wished it was like more developed or like more expanded. So yeah. Emma as a character was like this whole like enigma, right? Mystery.
True.
So, but can we also talk about how tall she was? She said she was 6 foot, and I was like, wow, with red hair, and like she caught everyone's attention, obviously. But I was just like, wow.
I know, it's so interesting, right? Because they say she's like, oh yeah, I'm 6 foot, but if I just dress like I don't want to be noticed, and I'm like, no, I would notice you. I would notice you no matter what you were wearing. I'd be like,
the red hair,
6 feet.
Yeah. Red hair, and you're tall. I just like I could like there you are there.
the literal embodiment of a man eater. So
yes, I just to circle back, I 100% agree with you on the letter being like, why would you write something so specific in a letter that will probably be read by the prison itself? The whole time I was like, fun, please read these letters from Emma. And then that one I was like, dude, that was very like, you could not misunderstand what you meant by this.
I also liked how her first time killing someone was a fucking accident. That part was funny to me.
Oh my, yes.
She accidentally impaled him. She's like, I think I heard a wet splat, and I looked out the car, and oh my god, he got impaled by a rebar, like on the parking like fence or whatever.
Oh my god, it reminded me of because my partner and I have recently been starting What We Do in the Shadows.
That show.
It reminds me of like Guillermo and the vampire that was like accidentally impaled, and I was like, hang on, cinematic parallels here. Except, the one who did the murdering was actually like someone that ate men, but
Oh, I also one of the other things I really really liked is that she was a MILF. Like, we're reading about a woman who's older and just like more distinguished and just like doing well in life, and I thought that was really interesting, like a really interesting outlook reading instead of like someone in their mid-20s or something.
See, I see people describe her as a MILF, and I kind of disagree with it because I'm like, yes, she's an older woman. However, there is no inclination that she has any motherly tendencies that would take her into a MILF. She's just like a hot older lady.
I like too when she's like, it's just tedious to me to pick up men now. Not that I have a problem doing it. Like, let's let that be clear. I can get anyone I want. It's just more
so
effort.
Tiring.
Now. Yes, exactly.
It's like, ugh. She's such a great protagonist, just for the fact that she's so unserious at points, and I'm just like, oh, you're great.
Wait, what is the main difference? I think Margot said something about a cougar. What is the difference between a cougar and a MILF?
MILF is a mother.
Yeah.
Oh, a MILF is a mother? I thought it was a hot, sexy older lady. But that's a cougar.
Yeah.
That's like, because that's what like DILF is. It's like a father kind of like.
Oh, that is true. That is very true. Oh my god, I'm so dumb. I'm just exposing how stupid I am in this show. Don't worry, it's the last one.
you're like now that it's like the last one for a while, you can like finally it can come out.
Oh my god.
Oh, there we go.
Wait, what's the equivalent of a cougar to a dude then?
I guess like a silver fox.
Ooh.
Oh, I was like,
into silver foxes. Oh my god. Sorry for some of the new people that just literally came here for their first live. It's not like this, I promise.
It's not like that. I think it is like this. We literally spent like the whole of the Frankenstein live show talking about Adam.
Oh, I know, literally, Daddy LaRue was born on a live
Daddy LaRue. Oh gosh, I can't. Speaking of that, what we're like going into like a blend of like A Certain Hunger and also kind of the book club as a whole. We've talked about our favorite moments of A Certain Hunger, but what was some of your favorite moments from like the book club as a whole?
Adam.
Adam.
Yeah, Frankenstein.
Adam!
Franken- yeah, Frankenstein. That was an era. Also, the first time I ever truly loved a book from this book club was reading The Song of Achilles.
I was just gonna say that. I was like
That-
seeing Elias's love
Iconic.
in that live show. It was just
so
like
good.
such a warm live.
Yeah, because I think I read like 2 or 3 like mediocre books before that, and I was like, God, this is gonna be the end of me. And then I read Song of Achilles, and it was so good. I had to make a dedicated video for it, and we all loved it. Was just great. I love that.
Mhm.
Like I will remember it forever.
Good.
It was
Good.
so
As
fun.
you should.
Yeah, I feel like I don't have too many like favorite books from this live show or not live show, like book club in general. But I think I can list like top 3. I think it would be like Song of Achilles.
Mhm.
I was about to say Pure Nessie, but we didn't read that for the book club. Oh,
We did?
We did? Did we?
Yeah.
Oh my God, we did?
Yeah.
Well, we didn't read it for this, so.
Whoa!
Pure Nessie. Pure Nessie. Oh my God.
So funny.
What was the third one? I was gonna say, Sea Tranquility. Sea
Oh,
Tranquility.
yes. That was
Those were
such a
just
good one.
such whimsical, like deep, thought-provoking, nostalgic books.
Mhm.
Oh, that hit me in all the right feels. Like barely in plot, it was just all vibes, and I was here for it.
I
Piranesi.
No, go ahead.
Wait, actually, let me look at the book club.
We read it in May of last year. Piranesi.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. Oh, there was a 5th season. I love that.
I remember when it was the first live show of a book we all collectively hated, which was The Power by Naomi Oldman.
I was so anxious for. I'm like, what if they loved it?
And then we all just got in. We were like, so I didn't like it, and everyone there was like a collective like sigh of relief
Oh
between
my
all
God.
3 of us.
I just remember how we were talking about the book, and we were like, you know, fuck it. And we started like going on this random tangent, just talking about. I think it was like only 10 minutes of talking about The Power, and then the rest of the last show was just talking about different things.
We like had a Q&A session of just like, if you had any
Yes.
questions, let us know.
Oh, Shadow of the Wind, that was a good one.
Oh,
I
Shadow of the
liked
Wind's really
Things We
nice.
Never Get Over just because before I think you were
Oh
even
my God.
halfway done with it, Elias, you were like mad that we were reading it. So
Yeah.
You know that book, I really wanted to advocate DNFing books for a book club. Okay, wait. Let me ask you guys in the chat, everyone, what are your stances if like we offered a book to the book club, right? What are your thoughts on DNFing? Like if one of the hosts was just like, oh, I didn't finish it. That book is fucking terrible. No, I'm serious.
so
Like,
hard.
Yeah,
if that
sure.
happens to me again in the future, I'm gonna come into the last show and be like, guys, I did not finish that book.
Yeah,
I
it's
think it
hard
would be
because you
fine.
like signed up for it, but then it's like, but I love DNFing, so it's like,
Yeah.
you gotta
I
practice
think-
what you preach.
Yeah. I think like if
Ah,
if
now
people
y'all say
in the
this is
chat,
acceptable. I could just,
Yeah.
just give me so much brain, like headache. First read that stupid book.
oh yeah, I think it's fine. I think it was just like because I wanted something to like discuss, I would like be like, oh okay, finish it. But I think in future, like if I don't like it, I will just DNF. I'll just be like,
Yeah.
I think in the future, we try to select better books.
Alias, how will we know they're good until we
That,
select them?
yes. And that one was like we needed to do like a pure steamy romance. You know what I mean? Like we were all waiting for it. We were all chomping at the bit to switch up the genre.
You know,
Mhm.
we
The
should have
second
done.
one comes up next month, Elias. So
Fuck
I will
no.
send it to you.
Absolutely not.
Oh,
Give me
a
your
little
Amazon
gift.
email. I will send you the Kindle edition.
I will. Okay, you send it to me. I'll send you a video of me burning that book. How's that?
Oh. Now, do we
Watch
advocate
me
for
get over
burning?
this, Noelle.
Stop. And that was something Elias never got over.
What was the one book that we had the most like it was super all over the place. Like we had different ratings for it.
Oh.
Was it If We Were Villains? Like you guys really loved it, or I loved it, and you guys didn't like it. You guys liked The Secret.
I
History.
liked it.
Or no, it was the opposite.
I liked it. I
If we
think
were
I
villains, yeah.
Oh no, I did not like it. I hated how they
yes.
fucking quoted Shakespeare. I was like, nobody does that.
Yeah,
But they do it all the time in Secret History, and I was like, they do it better.
I think one we were all kind of mixed on was The Chosen the Beautiful by Nevo, when we were like, it was shit. It was not Shakespeare. It was like Gatsby, but we were like,
Yeah.
it's
Oh
not. It
yeah.
was like we felt a bit misled.
Yes, because I remember I loved the writing,
Yeah,
Mhm.
I did like the writing, but
like the
the
descriptions.
story wasn't altogether there.
Yeah.
Oh, Loveless was another one. Yeah, I didn't really like that one, but a lot of you guys did.
Yes.
I think it'd be easier to decide which live shows Elias actually liked the books we read. That would be a short
easier.
list. Like,
Is it that easy?
Let's look through the list.
Oh my god.
yeah, definitely on one hand.
Am I taking a trip down memory lane, guys, for the last
Oh.
time with Noelle?
The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, the very first one.
that will always be iconic. Our first live
Yes.
show. We were, guys, behind the scenes, we were so fucking nervous.
Oh my god.
I was so nervous. Because you know why? You know what one thing I could take away from this book club, I am not afraid to do lives anymore. I was so scared doing a live. I
True.
literally had like a whole notes of like stuff to say the entire like hour and a half or an hour that we talked about. Because I was just like, oh, I need to be talkative. I need to be like how I am in my YouTube videos, right? How it's like super edited and polished, like eloquent. No way. Anyone who watches that live show would just look at me and be like, who the fuck are you? And why are you like this?
I think going off of that, it's been amazing to like see like both of you grow whilst we've been doing this like thing together, because it's like as we've become more relaxed and more chill, it's been amazing to kind of see the way that we've kind of like meshed together throughout this.
But I can like I'm like props to you guys. You guys carried like
No.
No.
I'm like the most English. I cannot speak. So eloquence has left the room when I speak. So
This is probably the biggest achievement of the book club.
Yes.
I would pick him up and he's
most
under the bed.
Oh.
Yeah. Maybe I'll drag him out when we gear towards the end as a farewell. But yeah, that Nessie, my son.
Mm-hmm.
He's so big.
Cutest.
Let's see. What other books? The Other Black Girl was an interesting one.
Oh, yeah.
Because I think we all collectively were a bit.
It was underwhelming for sure.
Yeah. Like the reveal
was one of those like, oh, it was marketed as something more.
I think it was marketed as more like thriller.
Like faster.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like a fast-paced, tense thriller, but it didn't deliver on that at all.
Yeah.
I recently read the Locked Tomb series by Tamsin Muir. Would recommend.
Ooh, yeah. Your video on that. That's on my TBR.
It's so good.
I'm reading the Dahlia Green.
Oh, is it Doesn't Care? Like
yes.
I'm
listening to that one right now. And it's fun. I'm only 10% in, but it's fun so far.
Oh yeah. And speaking of like books you guys have read recently, how many books have you guys already finished and completed in our Year of the Lord 2023 in the first month?
I think 5. I want to
What
say.
the fuck?
What's our favorite of the year so far, Joel?
I have no idea. None of the Ninth is a contender, but I recently read a short story which took me like an hour because it's like an hour on Audible, but it takes if you're listening on 3.5 times speed, it's probably like 15 minutes. The 6 Deaths of the Saint by
You know what I'm
Harrow.
so like upset about? You got me excited. I saw it on Twitter. I was like, oh my god, this sounds cool. The cover looks interesting. I went up to look for it, and it's only an ebook. And it's only 36 pages or something. And I was like, it's not a book? That's so disappointing to me.
It's so good though. Like you get like a book's worth of story in those 36 pages. Like it's so like I was listening to it on our dog walk and I was just like, I really love this. And I wish it was available physically, but it's not.
The author, I read another book from them before. I think it was called The 10 Doors of January.
Oh, the
10,000.
Yeah.
10,000 Doors of January or whatever.
I haven't read a book by them, but now I want to. So I think that's gonna be my next. That'll probably be like a February read, I think.
Oh.
I've only completed 2 books this year.
That's still amazing.
So behind on my 100 year book goal. Every year I try to set it, and it has not. I've never hit it. So
This will be the year. This will be the year.
I have to read like 5 to 7 or 8 books a month, and we're like what? It's the 22nd, and I haven't. So that's what I'm trying to read. Like, I'll just show you guys what I'm currently reading. So I'm currently reading The Ancient Magus Bride, which is a manga series.
Ooh.
On volume 10 and 11. If you really like Studio Ghibli, gosh, the anime is like legit one of the best things I've ever seen on TV. Like Studio Ghibli porn right there. And then I have these 2 novellas I'm hoping to complete before the month ends. This is like a novella about a mystical magical forest. And my first Murakami book. And it's really cool because I got this one in Thailand and it has illustrations.
Oh my god, how beautiful.
Yeah. I've heard a lot of things about Murakami, so we'll see. But there you go. Yeah.
What have I read?
I saw the cover, Joel. I want to read that book too.
My edition literally came yesterday. Not yesterday, the day before. And I'm just gonna show this because it's pretty.
Oh my goodness. Is it gold
color?
Foiled?
Yeah, it's like a gold, like a rose goldy, coppery foil, but it's so gorgeous. I thought this book was longer than it actually was. And then I was like, wow, it's like 200-ish pages. Great. I can't wait to read it.
What's the cover?
Rep it.
It's God Killer. Yes.
Oh my god, how beautiful.
I heard it's a book about a girl or a guy who tries to kill gods, right?
Yes, it's a girl who kills gods for a living until it's like a god that she can't kill because it's like bound to like a human being. Also, this is a Harper Voyager book, so support the Harper Colin Strikes, please. Thank you.
Yes. I love Demon Slayer. So good. Demon Slayer, just guys. I could go a tangent about anime.
To be fair, that could be something we could do for like the future. We could incorporate like graphic novels, manga, like more like
3 volumes or something of manga.
Yeah, and be like, hey, let's read this and give our thoughts.
That is such a good idea. And then you could even choose like what was your favorite page from it, like
exactly
artistic wise.
Yeah, maybe even something like adapted anime and manga.
Yeah, could do like a live watch of like an episode or 2 or something.
That would be cool.
Oh wow, from France. That's so cool.
Oh, that is amazing. Oh,
wow.
I'm so happy. Someone left a comment recently saying that they were learning English by watching my videos. And I was like, this is the most adorable thing I have ever read.
That's
I'm going to cry. I was like, oh.
Oh.
That's fantastic.
I'm reading The Dahlia Green.
Mm-hmm.
I'm rereading Book Lovers because, you know, and I graduated, so it's just like anything that'll make me feel anything.
Mm-hmm.
And I read Trespasses, that Irish Troubles novel that just came out.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't love that one. Didn't love it, but read it. And just, you know, I'm really leaning into Kindle Unlimited right now. Like any romance that's like 300 pages, I'm like, just something fast to make the time pass, you know?
That's me. So. That's me too. I'm aiming to read shorter books this year. Or shorter.
Yes. Yeah.
I have a few short ones that I'm like, you, and you. It's been great. Like, I feel a lot more like I feel the need to read a lot more through finishing shorter books. Like shorter book generally in February, maybe.
For sure. Because you're like, it just, every time you finish a book, it feels like an accomplishment. Whereas when I've picked up longer books, I'm like, okay, well, this is going to take me so long. So like, what's a reading goal? You know, one of my reading goals this year was to read way less. So I'd be happy if I just read 2 books a month this year. We'll see. Wow. I've read more than that, but I just want.
Any favorites so far this year?
Certain Hunger. Not that I didn't read it in December. Of course not. And Book Lovers, just because I already know that I love it, and it just feels like coming home a little bit. Something.
I love that.
Yes, it is read number 3 for book lovers. Just because I'm like, it's a comfort book. I just need to go back to the little small town.
I need to read it because I'm probably going to read Book Lovers and Happy Place one after another, I think.
Yes. You should do a video on it.
I think I'm going to put them in for the romance vlog for this year.
Yay! Oh
That's what
my
I'm doing too.
goodness.
So
A
I'm
romance
like,
vlog reading Emily Henry, Spanish Deception, Love Hypothesis.
ooh, I'm
You're doing
interested
some
to see.
heavy hitters.
I feel like you're gonna like certain parts of the Love Hypothesis, but also hate it.
Yes.
Same with the Spanish Love Deception, and I know you'll hate this one particular aspect of the Spanish Love Deception because of something that it builds towards that doesn't like you don't get to see.
Oh no.
And you're just like, I read it and I was like, so I don't get to see this? I do not get to see this?
Oh no.
So yeah, I feel like you're gonna have like a mixed time with them both. But I'm excited to see your thoughts when I watch your video.
We'll see, I guess.
Oh gosh.
I think I have also one of the Talia. Is it Talia Hibbert? One of or
The Brown Sisters?
yes, one of the first book in the Brown Sisters as well.
Get a Left Chloe Brown.
Yeah, Get a Left Chloe Brown. That's right.
Oh, that's
She
so
just
much
came out
fun.
with one. Have you read it yet, Joel?
Oh, really?
Oh, the young adult one.
Yes, I just got it. Hold on.
I haven't got it yet, but I might actually pick it up to read.
Aha!
Yes.
Oh, cute. Wait, what is it? Oh, Unfairly Cute. Wait,
Highly
Highly
suspicious
suspicious and
and
unfairly cute.
Oh, that's
I might
That's
pick
cute.
it up because I think I'm gonna try and read like 5 books for my romance video. So if I'm doing
Oh yes.
2 Emily Henry, I could do
So?
a Talia
Your
Hibbert.
minds.
Boom, boom, boom. Talia Hibbert, and then I think I'm gonna do like a weird romance erotica maybe kind of read, and then
Yes.
maybe like another like type of
Wait.
romance.
Would you ever read a Colleen Hoover book?
No, I've made it my like sole like
Your mission in life.
my mission in life is to never read everything I've read about Colleen Hoover's books has been against my will. It's just it's been like a paragraph or like someone's posted it on TikTok and I'm just like the more I read, the more I just don't want to read it. If I ever do read it, I feel like it would have to be like something where someone has paid me so much money that I'm like, okay, my morals have gone out the window.
Oh my gosh. Valid.
Thank you. But what about anticipated reads? Are there any books that you're both anticipating for this year?
Oh my gosh, I have so many. Okay, it was really funny because I was like, initially, I didn't even know what books were coming out this year. And so I did like a little mini research. And then all of a sudden, I had like 20 books and I had to narrow it down because this year I want to read primarily the books that I have on my bookshelf. But there are some releases I really want to read. A lot of fantasy books that are coming out, like debut books. God Killer is one of them. I think there's like horror, How to Sell a Haunted House by Grady Hendrix, Riley Sager's book, Peter Swanson, and apparently Cassandra Clare is coming out with like this new, this like it's not even related to Shadowhunters, so I'm just like maybe
I'm excited
I'll
for
check
it.
that one out. Yeah, same. Yellowface by R.
Oh, I have the arc of that. I need to start it.
What?
Do you have the physical arc?
Not a physical one. I have like a NetGalley one, but I might try and I'm hoping to get a physical one, but I don't know yet.
That cover's just so good.
Yeah, immediate eye catcher.
Yes.
One book that I'm like hoping to read before the end, like either the end of this month, which is literally next week, but probably be beginning of next month, is like A Day of Fallen Night by Samantha Shannon. This is a thick one, but it's a prequel to I can just reach for things. Priory of the Orange Tree. So I really want to get into it and do that. Other books I'm looking forward to is like I think it's like the second book in the Final Strife series by Sarah Larifi. It's called The Battle Drum, I believe. Yellowface. There's another like YA fantasy called Blood Debts. That's like it looks really good. I think I have the arc of it somewhere. But that's like by Terry J. Benton. I think that's their author name. But that one looks really cool. But yeah.
What
What
about
about
you,
you,
Noelle?
I've like not paid attention to what's coming out this year because I was
Mhm.
just so in the thick of the exam. So I'm kind of just like perusing when
Mhm.
something comes out. I get super stoked for it. I did already read Happy Place by Emily Henry. I thought it was really good.
Okay, good.
So I'm excited for you to read it. I do like book lovers more. So
Oh,
you'll
Wait,
have
did you read all
interesting.
of? Did you read all
I'll
of
let
them?
you know what I think.
okay, I need to know how you rank them. Have you read her two others?
I've read Beach Read. I
Okay.
haven't read You and Me on Vacation, but
Okay.
I'm probably gonna read that like outside of the vlog, just so it's
Yeah.
not like wholly in Henry. But I'll have my whole ranking for you once
Okay.
I've read all of them.
Wait,
But
Noelle, you've read all of Emily Henry's books, right?
I've read all the ones that like came out after Beach Read because I think that she had books come out before like this boom of romance
mhm.
that she's had. She had a couple before that, I think.
Oh, kind of
But
like
like,
Taylor Jenkins Reid and her slew of romance before.
yeah, exactly. Exactly. So like if you like open one of her books, it only lists like Beach Read and People We Meet on Vacation and all
Mhm.
that. So I've read all the newer ones that she's come out with, but not her older stuff. But yeah, I read Happy
Okay.
Place and um aside from that, it's just kind of like I'll open NetGalley, scroll through, don't
Mhm.
usually submit requests because I've been rejected and it always hurts my feelings. So
Same.
I'm like, what did I do wrong? Probably because, my ratio is not amazing. So it's
Mm.
like,
I
you
actually
know,
I don't even reach out or ask for arcs anymore.
yeah.
I very rarely like roll request an arc,
Mhm.
like unless it's like one that I'm really wanting to read. Like there was Witch King by Martha Wells
Ooh,
that's
that's
coming
on my
out
TV.
this
That's on
year.
my most anticipated reads too.
And I was like, oh, it's on Edelweiss. I'll request it, request it. Like literally like a few hours later, sorry, you've been rejected. And I was like,
Yeah.
I
The
don't even
pain.
I don't even mind about the rejection. It's just that I don't know. Since I read a lot of things from my phone, it doesn't correlate or well. Just
mm-hmm,
reading in general, or even on my laptop. And I would rather read it physically, like holding it,
yeah.
like
Okay.
because there are some books I've read like arcs, and then like the finished copy comes out, and it's like so much better. Like it's like beautiful, and I'm like, this arc, and it has like the original stuff in it, but that
Mm-hmm.
one has a
Oh, I
map,
see.
it has decorate, like it just feels more like whole than like
Yeah.
an arc that I'm holding. And I'm
So
just
you're
like,
not an e-reader.
I'm not an e-reader, but
Okay.
I'm trying to get more into audiobooks this year. I mean,
Okay.
that's nothing to do with arcs, but like after reading A Certain Hunger, I was like, oh my god, because I used to read audiobooks all the time. That's how I
Mm-hmm.
read books.
Yeah.
But then I sort of fell off because I couldn't concentrate.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
That's fair.
oh, I also
I
read The Stolen Prince as well. That was my first book I read this year. It was good.
Did
oh
you
I
like?
liked it.
Okay.
is it the Holly Black one, the Stolen Heir?
Yeah, it's a spin-off of the Cool Prince trilogy. So
I
it's set
need
in the
to
same world, same characters.
I need to get back into that because I read The Cruel Prince last year, but I like rushed my reading of it because I was trying to do a 24-hour reading challenge. So I didn't like it as much. So I think I'm gonna reapproach it and do like a whole trilogy reading of it this
It's a
year.
little
And then
overhyped, but I think it's pretty good.
yeah, I probably will check it out. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. If anyone in the chat has any last questions, does anyone have any final thoughts on like either Certain Hunger, the book club, or like books in general?
I made a goal where I wasn't going to buy books unless I sold books first.
Ooh.
So I could only buy books with the money that I got.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Her
yay!
Nessie, our little
So
book club
big
mascot.
now.
Literally. Oh.
Oh my goodness. Is he like definitely your cat, or is it just like
Sorry, no,
anyone?
I'm gonna have to repeat that. What'd you say?
Is he definitely like your cat, or is it like anyone that wants love and affection?
Wait, what was the question?
Like, are you like the true like, oh, when I get home, he's so excited to see me, or is it like anyone that walks in?
It's
Like,
literally his world, and I'm just living in it. He makes
okay.
me rent free. I'm doing the laundry, doing dishes, and he just sits there. But
Oh.
the thing is, he does follow me like in every room that I go to, like even
Okay.
bathroom. Like if I close the door, he'll like meow, like try to go in.
Yes.
And he sleeps on me every single night without fail.
Okay, so you're the
Oh.
owner for sure.
I'm the owner.
Yeah.
I'm Daddy
Aw.
LaRue, so.
He's so grumpy.
Daddy Loressi.
Kira.
Oh. Oh, he's so adorable. For Yam, there actually isn't a next book. This is the last live show for a while whilst we take a break and just recharge and, you know, do our own kind of thing until we're back to do this in the future. So yeah, for now, the next book is basically read what you want until we're ready. This is my first time. I usually don't watch live shows, but this was so enjoyable. I am so happy you enjoyed it.
Glad you came.
And
the first live show. Oh my god, unhinged.
honestly,
This is more unhinged than the others because it's our last one for a while. So.
Oh, definitely. I think the chaotic energy needs to be turned up, but I think it's just been, amazing. But yeah, thank you all so much for joining us.
Definitely. Thank you for joining us. Everyone new and everyone who's like keeping oh my god, English? I cannot speak today. Guys, this is not normal, okay? I'm usually more eloquent than this, and especially my YouTube videos. Of course, I edit this bit out, you know. Thank you for coming, everybody.
Thank you.
But, yeah.
Thank you so much to Ellias. Thank you so much to Noelle. Like, it's just been amazing to like discuss all of these books with both of you.
Ever.
Yes, literally. And yeah, I can't wait to see what happens in the future for all of us. So for now, until whenever in the future, bye everyone.